Yes.
If someone breaks with a chick 1 year into marriage and 13 years down, the woman comes and talks a lot of vibe about it, and the interview is done by a brother.
Give me some context.
The context is that my friend Robert Bradley was invited on a podcast.
Yes,
before.
I've been reading a fair bit about it.
Yes, and then he was asked about his failed marriage.
Right.
And the gentleman said, of course, the most of my problem is that I had an issue with myself and I didn't rise up to the occasion.
Right.
Very humbly, not saying divulging into so much things be.
Yeah. Not
it's
getting into too much details.
13 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. So the gentleman said, okay, now you've said your side. Let me invite the chick. And the chick says, oh man, this man was terrible. 13 years later.
13 years later.
Yeah, so I'm like, 13 years, you're interviewing your sister. 13 years later, and
it's just, it doesn't make much sense, eh?
Yeah, it doesn't make much sense to me.
Doesn't make much sense. And also, it's one of those things where I feel like people should not necessarily, iron out their dirty linen.
In public. Yeah.
Keep it to yourself. But also, like, what did you think about the whole situation?
I think everyone has a past.
Yes.
And this gentleman has been out there saying, I had a dark past. He has
been openly vulnerable.
Yes, and yes. He does his sessions called The Naked Truth. Mm-hmm. He talks about it, addiction to sex, addiction to masturbation. He's talked about it. And also he said addiction to, and he wrote a book, Mask Off. This is what I was and this is what I am now.
Right.
So now when you come back 13 years and say, my question is, kwani simukiachana achika?
Kwani alikuwa wapi this whole period?
That's my issue.
She was in it.
Yeah.
It's a very difficult conversation, Charles, because the problem with breakup has always been ascribing blame on the other party.
Yeah.
And it's something that people in a relationship try really, really hard to avoid. Because it takes two to tangle. Mm-hmm. Okay? It takes two to tangle. So by the time your relationship is coming to
an end,
it's not just one party. Okay?
Yeah.
And it's not the other party. And this is why I've always felt like it's important for people to keep it civil, diplomatic. Don't necessarily come out in public and say this person was a terrible person. You must have played a role in him becoming a terrible person. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's just not one party contributing to the breaking of the relationship. It's both parties. 13 years is a long time.
It's a long time.
It's a long time. Listen. You must have played a role, an equal role in either turning that man to be the antagonist that you're pointing him out to be, or to be a good man. Or probably you found something different. But do not come here and tell us that only this party played a role in getting our relationship to break up. It doesn't make much sense.
It doesn't, because I always say, if you've walked into that relationship,
and you knew what you were getting into,
and it takes, the way you said, it takes two to tangle.
It takes two to tangle,
and you've realized this thing cannot work.
Yeah.
Why are you waiting for 1 year? If this guy has not touched you for a month, and you said I do in
and
church,
the signs are there, the red flags are there.
Why don't you call? First of all, say you married me. Why did you marry me?
Yeah.
Brought me into this house. What is the essence of me being here? Then the guy says, "Oh, I'm not in a position to do this or this." And you call your friend and say, "This man has never consummated this marriage.
Yeah.
I do not think this thing can work."
Exactly. Honesty is the best policy.
Yes, and honestly,
and I think that also inducing an honest conversation in positions, especially when conversation is tense, when emotions are high, feelings are high, it is very easy to lack that rational perspective or that ability to be logical kind of goes out the window. And now people are, you only remember what serves you, but you don't remember the role that you played in damaging the relationship, or your character as well. So it's one of those things where you're right. People need to acknowledge that they also play a role.
Yeah, and 13 years down the line, whatever I did 13 years ago,
but 13 years changes someone.
A kid is a teenager at that time.
Yeah, a kid is a teenager at that time. But listen, this is why people need to go to therapy, or people need to at least appreciate the importance of being honest in a relationship. Because if they had been honest from onset, they would have realized perhaps this does not augur well with my man. This does not augur well with my lady. Right? This does not function very well in our relationship. But it also appears that they must have harbored a lot of issues. They might have piled them up, swept them under the carpet.
Yes.
And now, when one is getting to that kuchoshwa, what's the word there in English? When you're getting to that point of exhaustion, in a relationship, then it's too late. There's nothing salvageable, and that's why you see people coming on TV, trying to make the other person look bad. It's because you have so much that is bottled up that you haven't had a conduit of outlet.
So I think what we can say is that if you dug into people's relationships past, people would be shocked. And 13 years ago, you are not the we know today.
No.
You are still a young man running around the town and doing stupid things.
Yes.
We cannot judge you by the virtue of what you did 13 years ago.
Yes. And you can judge me by the virtue of what I've become.
Yes, now.
Exactly,
and I always think that when people try to drag other people down, there is something you are looking for.
And there's something you are lacking also. Wisdom. You're lacking wisdom.
Because it is always easy to say, I had an affair or a relationship.
Yeah.
It didn't work. We are two adult people. We met. This thing didn't work. And we went separate ways. Civil, mature, intelligent.
Yes. Yeah, but
when I start saying, I went to your emails, I found you're doing this, I thought you were not...
Insecurity. It's insecurity. One party has to be very insecure.
Goodness.
When you start doing those things, and especially you're trying to get the public's empathy and sympathy on your insecurities.
And also...
essentially what you're telling the public is, look, this person did this and this and that, but you're in the same process obscuring what you did and what your role you played. And that's just, especially when it comes from one party, I think that there is a lot of insecurity, a lot of immaturity, and a lot of you want sympathy, just buying sympathies from people.
And I also think, apart from sympathy, is that if this thing didn't work for you, and 13 years down the line, you've not moved on, because naturally, if this man was the only problem, or the woman is the only problem, you would have gotten into a relationship, people break up, you get married. So if you also have not been married, for me, it tells me it's a red flag also. You are a red flag yourself.
Exactly.
Because if you are blaming this gentleman and you have never moved on to the next person, so what are you waiting for?
What are you waiting for? If you are that good.
What are you waiting? If you didn't do any mistake in this relationship,
you should be on the market.
What the hell were you doing it?
Some other Jama would have been swept off. Yes, exactly. So,
what the hell are you waiting for in the market? People think Kenyans are daft.
I think so. I think there's a handful of people who they live in their own echo chambers of...
they just...
They live in their own illusionary world where they think they know everything. They can be able to judge people's characters, and they have never really taken time to be self-aware and understand that people are looking at you. People are observing your behavior. What you're saying in public, people will put to scrutiny. In fact, people might go as far as to now take a closer look into who you are as a person.
And dig deeper.
Because they want to know.
So I think I think what we need to say is that maybe people need to mature up, and when you break up, just break up. Be civil.
Be civil
Move
about
on.
it. Move on.
Move on. Life continues.
Move on. Listen, there is a lot of places that men go
Yeah.
when kameumana.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I remember back in my early 20s when it happened. I used to call my friends. We go out. And there's a way to let that anger out. There's a way of allowing your, that feeling of being let down, that feeling of nimeachwa. There's a way of just letting it go, but you do it in a civil way.
Yeah,
you do it as a man. You take care of business. You don't go out there, drying your linen in public for us to see. There's far worse relationship breakages that don't get publicized. So why should we be concerned with yours? And what are you trying to let us in on? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But that being said, also people need to be honest about how relationships work. The way relationships work is that it takes two to tangle, and it's never one party that has caused the relationship to break up.
Yeah, yeah. So I think if you were listening to us, our issue is that if you are in a relationship, do not, and you've broken up with your partner or your girlfriend, your boyfriend, whoever you're dating, please do not go shouting on the top of mountains telling us, oh, this man has done or this woman has done. Keep it to yourself. Keep it to yourself. It is not in our space.
It is not in our interest as well.
To know
we wish you all the best.
Yes.
Just like we wish the other 2 million people who are going through the same thing you're going through. Yeah, it happens.
Yeah.
How many statistically speaking, how many breakups do you think happen
every day?
Every day,
not less than
we can actually even narrow it down to how many breakups do you reckon happen in a minute?
A lot.
Right now, as we are speaking, like 5 people have already been heartbroken.
Yes.
Okay? So understand that it's part of life. That pain is inevitable.
Yeah.
Disappointments are inevitable. But the way you deal with that inevitability is what makes you a sensible person in the community.
Yeah.
A sensible person in
society.
In the society. Oh, kuja hapa tu nalia kinyoriro. You know,
don't drag someone down when he's been working so hard, man, to go up. I think, and our listeners out there, if you've undergone a serious breakup and someone dragged you down, let us know. How did you handle it? How do you handle such issues? For us, we wish you a beautiful relationship.
Go to church, end a kesha, hang out with your friends, kunywa maziwa, uza uji. Do anything in your capacity to make sure you forget her or him. It is advisable, CEO. Listen,
yes,
it is for your peace of mind.
Yeah, just
to have some stability.
Yeah.
In your brain.
Yeah.
In your life.
Yeah.
When this happens.
Yeah.
Bana.
Move on.
Haraka. Upesi.
So I think it's been very interesting weekend for us. And the other thing I wanted us to look at is a Kaluma boy and the mother got 3 million in 30 minutes in a church service.
Wow, that's amazing.
3 million.
That's
Kenyans. Life-changing money. They had a portion meal for the mother and all this. So this boy has reunited the country.
Yes. And it's just so amazing to have someone as young as him to go out there, solicit support.
Yes, for his father.
For a good cause to help his dad out. And a few young people can go out of their way to help their parents the way this young man has. And you're right, he has also brought people together, not just in verbal support, but 3 million.
It's a lot of people.
That's a lot of money. That can pay hospital bills.
Yeah.
They can find a
good business to start.
A good business to start, and their hands having a sustainable way of supporting the bills that will come after. And I'm very happy with this. I'm very stoked for this young person. I think we should hang out. We should invite him here.
We should invite him
here.
And the church, which Pastor Kinge's church did a good thing to invite the boy and actually offer proper support.
That is substantial support.
Yeah, proper support.
Proper support.
And now the mother can have something to do in the village, in Nyeri. For me, that's a great thing.
It's a great thing, man.
Yeah.
And I think that we also should appreciate that the church has played that role.
Yeah.
We often forget that, a while back, churches used to play that role.
Yeah.
Do you remember those days of Harambe? We don't see that anymore.
We don't see them anymore.
These days we see a lot of churches collecting, but we don't see the
Giving.
church playing that role of giving that it used to.
Yeah.
The church used to be a place where people went to get assistance, people went to get spiritual reprieve, people went to get spiritual nourishment, and so on and so forth. But now, these days, it's not very common. A few of our churches these days are more concerned with what you are giving the church and not what the church offers you. And it's very refreshing to see that what's his name, Pastor?
King A. Yes.
Shout out to Pastor King A.
Shout out
for reminding us what the responsibility of the church.
Fantastic. Of course, I think with those two things, this weekend we had a very weird thing. So when we come back, we'll discuss many other issues. But first of all, if you are in an area where you are listening to us, please give us a shout. And I can see the first people to be writing to us already on our social media spaces. You can go to Spice on Facebook, Spice on Twitter, Spice on Instagram, Spice on X, and you can see the Rose Joseph, you're saying Kericho tuned in FM's in Spice FM, and you are Abdikadir Abdallah, you're saying here at Komarock I'm locked as usual until the end. Nebat Ayenda Mugogoro, you're saying you're also tuned in, and there are people who love the show like Rose Joseph, you will love the show. And of course we have Eric Kenani Mumanyi, Elias Okro Tumbo, Norbert Marita, Rafael Rotuno, Lancaster Mutego, Abdakir Abdallah, Farid Akunaya, Emir Wawire, and Nabat Anyenda. Keep sending your messages, keep writing to us. We will read your comment on air as usual. But what we ask you is, keep us company, because right now we want to get back to music, and serious music from DJ Cham on the 1 and 2s. We call him Black Gypsy. Let's listen what's up.
Vanilla Tracy, Caesar Bugatti, Isaac Mizrahi, up around the yo shade.